so that people could join it.
Yeah. Jaiswal, are you there? Ashish? Yeah. So have you started live streaming? Good. Kai, please check it.
Yes, sir.
Organizing team, we will start exactly at 7:30. Kaif, Manasvi, Suhaib, Yeah, please start.
Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present here for the national level webinar on business skills needed to thrive in the 21st century. I am Gargi Bhosle.
And I'm Miss Vaishnavi Gaikwad.
And we are your host for the evening. Let us start the event with lighting of the lamp.
गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Before we begin this program, let us remember our founding fathers. Dr. K.M. Munshi. He was an Indian independence movement activist, politician, writer from the Gujarat state, a lawyer by profession who later turned into an author and politician. Munshi ji wrote his works mainly in three languages: Gujarati, English, and Hindi. He also held several important posts in the Constituent Assembly of India. Munshi ji donated parcel for establishment of educational institutions. On 7th November 1938, he established Bharatiya Vidya Bhavans. Munshi ji was also instrumental in establishment of Bhavans College, Hansrar Morarji Public School, Rajan's Vidyalaya, Rajan's Bal Vatika, and Panchgani Hindu School in 1922. And Bharatiya Vidya Bhavans is an ever-growing plant which was planted by Munshi ji.
Our college, Sardar Patel College of Engineering, is dedicated to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, an eminent national builder of independent India. I am honored to speak about a great personality like him, fondly known as the Iron Man of India. He was a key figure in the Indian independence movement and left an undeniable mark on Indian history. Born into a farmer's family, he showed signs of leadership and determination from an early age. His unwavering determination and visionary leadership played a pivotal role in unifying over 500 princely states in modern India post-independence. His vision and his commitment to the national integration have shaped our country's destiny. He is a symbol of unity and integrity, and his life is an inspiration to us all. Let us remember his contribution and strive to uphold his values he stood for.
Now, I would like to call upon Faculty and former Dean Academics, Chairman IEEE Students Chapter, Dr. Santosh Rane sir, to address a few words.
Thank you. First of all, I welcome you all for this national level webinar on business skills needed to thrive in 21st century. This webinar is being organized by Sardar Patel College of Engineering in collaboration with SA India Western Section, III Mumbai Chapter, and Institution Innovation Council under the Department of Mechanical Engineering and IQSC of SPC. Before starting this seminar, I would like to give a little idea about Sardar Patel College of Engineering. SPC is a government-aided engineering institution, and it is permanently affiliated to University of Mumbai. It is one of the most preferred institutions in the Western India. we offer BTech, MTech and PhD program in civil engineering, electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. SPC offer the best placements to the students, and hence it is one of the most sought out institution for the admissions. For this particular webinar, we have received our blessings from our patrons, Dr. Shesha Iyer, Chairman of BOG SPC, Dr. M.M. Murdi, Principal of SPC, Dr. Reji Mathai, Chairman of SA India Western Section, and Mr. Ramesh Pasrija, Executive Director of SA India Western Section. I have received a good support from our Head of the Department, Dr. R.S. Maurya, for organizing this webinar. I'm really thankful to our today's speaker, Mr. Shekhar Srinivasan, for sparing his precious time to and giving opportunity for all of us to learn a new knowledge related to the business skills needed in this 21st century. I welcome all the participants and all the committee members who are putting their sincere efforts to make this entire webinar as a great success. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Now Gagi will introduce us to our today's speaker.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you an individual whose ideas have the power to shape perspectives, ignite change, and inspire action. With an unwavering commitment to share groundbreaking insights and fostering meaningful dialogue, our speaker, Mr. Shekhar Srinivasan, is on a mission to empower 1 million engineers and guide them for higher studies. He has 2 master's degrees, one in petroleum engineering from the University of Texas at Austin and the other in material engineering from the University of Ohio. He is a TEDx speaker and co-author of the 11th edition of Amazon International bestseller titled Cracking the Rich Code. He is a higher education consultant who helps engineers translate their dream of acquiring a master's degree from abroad into reality. Through his structured curriculum, students derive the benefit of planning their studies, prepare their application, and create a strong personal brand that is aligned with the asks of the graduate programs in the US. With over 19 years of solid experience that spans engineering, consulting, and sales, his training are tailored to be simple and to the point, making it easy to absorb and put it into action. Whether it is preparing for job interviews, pursuing higher education abroad, overcoming social anxiety while starting conversations, or for that matter, delivering impactful presentation. He has consulted clients across the entire gamut of such issues. We are honored to have you here with us today, sir. You may now please take over.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gargi and Dr. Rane, for that introduction. I am honored to have this opportunity to present this webinar to the entire stream of students from Sardar Patel College of Engineering and other engineering institutes alike, along with faculty members. So thank you very much. Can I request the team to give me access to the screen so that I can display the I can take it forward?
You can present it, sir. No problem.
Okay, great. So let me know if you're able to see my screen.
No, sir.
Okay. 1 second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So can you now see the deck?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So it's my idea behind conducting this webinar is essentially to share with students a set of skills that I believe will add significant amount of value in terms of students who are applying for higher studies abroad, as well as students who are applying for a corporate career. Now, this webinar is not going to be just like any other standard webinar. My objective here is not just to share information with you, but I've tried to make this webinar a bit more interactive so that it becomes engaging and you're able to derive maximum value out of the 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes that you're going to spend with me during the course of this webinar. So my only request to the entire student community and the faculty community here is to make it as engaging as possible. If it is convenient, it would be great to see you all on camera and maybe have some hand gestures to signal and engage with each other, because the more engaging it is, the more value addition that comes about. The alternative is, of course, if you could type in the chat box as a means to engage with me, that would add significant amount of value as well. So right now is dinner time, and my objective here is not to let you feel hungry or to feel sleepy. My objective is to make sure that I keep you engaged throughout the course of the webinar. So let us start off with a simple poll, okay? What I'd request you to do is go to google.com, and over here you need to type the word Kahoot, okay? And if you can click the first link which says Kahoot, it asks for a game pin. So the folks who are joining through Google Chat and the folks who are joining through YouTube link, as well as folks who are joining through WhatsApp, you would have had you can access kahoot.it. This is the place where you go. Let me know if you're able to see all of this on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
So what you need to do here is there will be a pin. This pin called 159639. People who are joining through YouTube link, people who are joining through Google Chat, and people who are joining through WhatsApp will have access to this pin. This pin needs to be entered over here. And then you can enter your name and you can enter this game. So I'll give you about 30 to 40 seconds for entering this game. So while people are entering, participants are entering, what I want to set the context is we're going to have a poll to start off with. Okay. And in this poll, we're going to understand a little bit the audience, where are they coming from, which colleges they're joining in from. And following that, I'll share with you a little bit of content about what sales techniques can you deploy in order to create opportunities and attract opportunities towards yourself. And following that, we are going to have a quiz. The quiz will have about 20 questions. So my request to you is, for the next 1 hour, you make some notes of what is going to be covered, because that will essentially help you score in that quiz, which will also be played on Kahoot using a game pin, just like the one that you're doing right now. For those people who are facing challenges with entering this, you all can always reach out to the technical team through the WhatsApp chat or Google chat, and they'll obviously be willing to help you out. Okay. Shall we begin the poll?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So let's start All right, so this is the opportunity magnet poll. Let's see what the first question is for us. How many of you are excited to learn 3 secrets to become an opportunity magnet? Awesome. So we can see quite a few people who are excited and some of them who are moderately excited. I can also see a few people who are attending this because their friend is attending. Great, and there are a few people who are not that excited. Fair enough, no worries. But I will try my level best to make this as exciting as possible for each one of you who have decided to give me their time for the next 60 to 70 minutes. Okay, so let's see what the next question is for us. How committed are you as far as learning and implementing these strategies to attract opportunities are concerned? Awesome. So I do see that.
What's the password code?
The password code is 159639.
Okay, thank you so much.
So I see that a significant portion are 100% committed and ready to engage. Some of them are 80% committed and willing to participate. Now, fair enough that you're committed. All I want to say is, if you want to maximize the value of the 1 hour that you're spending here, you might as well give me your undivided attention, because I can assure you what you're going to take away from here is definitely going to increase your confidence level and to tap into and attract these opportunities towards yourself. That is my assurance to you. And I've tried to keep the presentation as simple as possible so you don't have to worry about technical jargon. It is going to be simple. Let's look at the next question. Which particular principle are you looking forward to master today from this webinar? Awesome. I mean, this is the kind of commitment I'm looking for. So people are interested in learning all the 3 techniques. Awesome, awesome. During this session, would you get distracted by your social media profiles? This is an interesting question. I'd love to hear the answer for this one. Awesome. So the bulk of the folks are focused and committed. They don't want any distractions. And I'm really happy to see this. The majority folks who are committed to learn this. Great. Now, the next question. I would love to know, which city are you all from? Wow, there are people who have joined us from across Maharashtra. There are people from Lucknow, Titwala, Rajkot, Aurangabad. A bulk of them are coming from Bombay, Pune, Thane, Nashik, Nagpur. Wow, this is amazing. The turnout from across. There are people from Tamil Nadu, Boisar, Bhutan. Wow, this is amazing. I'm really looking forward, and thank you so much for taking your time. Last question, and this is one of the most interesting questions which I'd love to know from you. What among these scares you the most? I'd love to hear your perspective on this. Okay, so there are quite a few concerning aspects in this. So there are some people who are facing at least one or more of these areas as challenges. Now, what I want to assure you, first of all, thank you very much for honestly sharing your views on this game. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to engage with me on this. Now, what I want to assure you is that at the end of this webinar, you're going to feel confident when you walk out of this that you can tackle these problems with confidence. That I can assure you. If you give me your undivided attention, the techniques that you're going to learn from this is going to give you that confidence. Okay, so let's get started. Bear with me a moment. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. So I want to open with a statistic. Okay. First of all, this particular presentation is going to cater to students who are applying for higher universities abroad and as well as those who are catering for the corporate career. Now, HR departments of companies receive as much as 1,000 resumes a month. Okay. And an average job posting has 250 applicants, out of which only 4 to 6 people will make the cut for an interview, and only one gets offered a job. Now that brings the statistic of, or the success rate for an online job applications to be less than 2%. It is that low. Now, how many of y'all did not know this particular statistic? Would you please take a moment to type DNK in the Google chat, in the YouTube link, as well as in the WhatsApp, whichever you're engaging with me on, please type DNK, did not know about this. Awesome, awesome. So there are quite a few people who did not know about this. Great. Now, how many of you would like to be in the top 4 to 6 people who get recruited or who get selected for the interview? Please type me in the chat box, both YouTube, Google Chat, as well as WhatsApp. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Bear with me. I am having to toggle between screens because we have people joining in from all 3 platforms, which is Google Chat, YouTube, as well as WhatsApp. So we'll have to go between the platforms to ensure that all of the audience is engaged. Now, let me tell you one thing, that traditionally, when we approach a job, we tend to go with an attitude of, I am looking for a job. Hey, I want to discuss with you about this job opportunity that you recently posted. Now, there is a trouble with this attitude in today's context, okay? Because of this reason, because if you go to the job market with this attitude that I'm looking for a job, this is the kind of reaction you typically can expect from a hiring manager, okay? Because look at the pile of applications that are sitting on their table, and they will not know how to position you. It is another pain area for them to position you. So what I'm going to give you is a 3-step model that will help you stand out in this crowded job market. Okay, it's a 3-step model. And this 3-step model is called as RIP. Now, what is RIP? R stands for research skills. Okay, for now, just make notes of these. Okay, we will discuss as we move along what each of these imply. For now, just make note of this. The second is interpersonal skills. Okay, even if now, once you do the research, you have to be willing to share that information with people. That is when you create that human to human connection, that bond with people, which will allow you to stand out in the market. So interpersonal skills are the second most important skills that is necessary. And the third one is pitching skills. Okay, but if you want to understand pitching skills, understand how to tell a story. Okay, and that for now, that much is enough from standpoint of understanding. We'll cover the details of this as we move through the slides. What I wanted to highlight was, please make notes of the questions that come up during the course of this discussion. I may not be able to answer all of them, but please keep a note of it and post it on the Google form, which will be shared at the end of the presentation. We will make sure that those questions are answered. Okay, some of the question answers will be answered at the end of the session when we have the Q&A session. Okay. Now, so these three skills, for how many of you did not know about these three aspects? Could you please type me in the chat box, Google chat, YouTube link, as well as WhatsApp?
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Awesome, great. So let's move on. Now, before we get to the sales part of the whole exercise, okay, which is what is going to be the emphasis of today's webinar, there are some activities that you need to do in order to prepare for the sales aspect of it, which is called pre-sales. Okay, and one of the most important aspects of the pre-sales is research. Okay. Now, how do you start research? Number one is to build a list of companies that you want to go after. Now, I want to set the context. One of the reasons why online job applications have such a low success rate is because people tend to apply for a job from the job seeker's mindset. They go after every opportunity that is available, and that kind of does not differentiate them in the market. How do you stand out is what you ought to always be thinking. How do you stand out in the market? So for that, this is the foundational step. Okay, if you do this research, let's say you're pursuing mechanical engineering, or let's say you're pursuing IT engineering, you need to start building a list of companies within that sector that are the top 10 or 15 dream companies that you want to work for. Okay, and start building that list either in an Excel spreadsheet or in a diary. And keep this list. I will explain to you what is the next step. The second step is to study the company thoroughly. Now, each of the 15 companies that you have built in the list, you need to go to their website and you need to check 4 things. First thing is the About Us section, in which they highlight why are they in business today and what business are they in. So they're going to write that out. Number 2, they're going to write the vision of the company. Where is it that they plan to go in the future? And the third portion is mission statement. What is it that they want to accomplish in the short term, long term? What is their mission? What is their goal? And the last is, what is their product or services portfolio? Okay. All of this information will be available to you from the website of the company. Okay. And as we move through the slides, you will be clear on why I am asking you to do this research, why to build this list. Okay. Now, every company or business faces problems. Would you agree or disagree with this statement? Please type whatever is your answer in the chat box. Okay, great. So it's great to see that a lot of people agree with what has been said here. Now, here is where I'm going to share with you how you can use this aspect to your advantage. You need to research and find the problem that the company is facing. How do you do this? Published research. Okay. Now, what is published research? It's basically any research information, any information about the company that's available on published domain. which is through Google, through scholar.google, through anything on the internet that you can find about the company, from the standpoint of annual reports, from the standpoint of news articles about the company. Start doing research to understand what activities the company has been engaged from the standpoint of marketing, from the standpoint of products, all the news articles. Get a feel for what the company is into and what kind of activities it has engaged in, what kind of joint ventures it has done, and so on and so forth. Now, I know that this exercise is new for the engineering students, but believe me, if you pay attention to this foundational aspect, it will have the opportunities come to your and knocking at your door, as opposed to you going after them. Okay, so start doing research. And in today's context, I want to highlight one more aspect. You have access to artificial intelligence, and I'm sure that all the engineers here are well versed with the tools on artificial intelligence. So in areas where you don't have documented information on the published domain, you can start utilizing some artificial intelligence tools to understand what kind of typical problems or challenges that these companies would be facing. So to recap, first step is to build a list of companies that you want to go after, and then do research to jot down what each of these companies are into, what kind of activities they have engaged in. Okay. The third step is to find the decision maker. Now, a lot of you will ask me, how do I find the decision maker? Some of you might already know it, but for those who are not aware of it, I want to say, you want to make use of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the freely available tools and one of the best tools available in today's context to find the decision maker directly. Okay. The traditional way of applying for a job or for applying to universities is through online applications. But how do you make your presence felt? How do you differentiate yourself among the pool of applications that it receives? Is by finding the decision maker on LinkedIn. For example, if you have a company, let's say Siemens, and you want to apply for an R&D engineer's role in that company, you need to go and find the R&D head or the R&D director at Siemens through LinkedIn. Most likely, you will find this information there. The next step is to send a cold invite to this gentleman whom you have never. Why am I saying it's a cold invite? Because you've never interacted with this gentleman before. This is the first time that you're going to send him an invite to a person whom you don't know. For how many of you, sending a cold invite to somebody on LinkedIn is challenging? Can you please type me in the chat box, both Google, YouTube, as well as okay. So I want to address this on its head. Sending somebody an invite on LinkedIn is not going to be that difficult. It is going to be uncomfortable in the beginning, but trust me, sending an invite is certainly not rude, as long as in your invitation, you're able to highlight why you want to connect with them. Okay. Whenever you send an invite, don't just send them an invite for the sake of it, but highlight to them why you want to connect. For example, through my research that I've done, I have identified a problem that your company is likely to be facing. And I believe, based on my experience with my projects in engineering, I have a potential approach to address that problem. How difficult is it to write this in an invitation and send it to them as a cold invite? Is it difficult? Reply yes or no in the chat box. Awesome. So can I have a commitment from all of you that you will definitely attempt sending a cold invite to somebody you don't know and share with them a reason as to why you're contacting them? Believe me, when you do this exercise, the first time it will be uncomfortable. When you do it the second time and the third time and the fourth time, it becomes second nature to you. Okay? So do this exercise and it will add a lot of confidence to your set of skills. Now, we have covered the pre-sales part of the exercise. Now, the next part of the exercise is business skills of the 21st century. Okay. This is all concerning sales techniques. Now, why am I sharing sales techniques with engineers? Because as engineers, we are taught how to solve problems. Okay. And that is one of our greatest assets. In all our graduating schools, we are taught how to solve problems. And believe me, sales is not very different from solving problems, except that we are solving the customer's problem. And we are now thinking from the standpoint of what problem the customer is facing. That's all. So today's business skills of 21st century is going to focus on all these sales techniques. So are you all ready for learning what these skills are? Type yes in the chat box. Awesome. Now, secret number one is persuasive writing. Okay. What is persuasive writing? Persuasive writing is nothing but it's writing that persuades someone or influences someone to take decision in your favor. Persuasive writing is something that persuades or influences someone to take a decision in your favor. Now, in the context of the two groups of students that this webinar is addressing, which is students who are aspiring for higher studies abroad and the ones who are aspiring for a corporate career, there are two main documents for each of these groups of students. One is the statement of purpose. For students who are aspiring for higher studies abroad, statement of purpose tells the admissions committee why you are applying to study masters in engineering in that specific university. You need to highlight your motivation for pursuing at that university. Okay. And this requires you to go deep within, research the university, understand how you fit with the university, and tell the admissions committee why you're applying. Same way, the cover letter tells a company why you are wanting to join that company and what makes you an ideal fit for the role. Okay. So if you want to write and before I come to this, I want to highlight the importance of a cover letter or a statement of purpose. When you're writing persuasively, the objective is to share. Okay. It's not to seek the job, but it is to share something about yourself. Because when an admissions committee is looking at a statement of purpose, they want to know about you. They want to know about your personality. And the only document that they have access to is your statement of purpose. Same way, the company, the first point of contact that they have is your cover letter. Okay. And here I want to draw an important distinction between a resume and a cover letter is that the resume tells factual aspects about what you have done, but the cover letter personalizes that connection. At the end of the day, you have to personalize the document, and that is what is going to get you noticed. Okay. So one way to personalize a cover letter is, remember, share. You're sharing information. The first part of the acronym is SPARK. You want to ignite the curiosity of the admissions panel or curiosity of the hiring manager who is looking to hire you for the role. How do you do that? You do that by focusing on the headline of your email. If you're sending an email for a cover letter, you want them to open the email. So if you typically type applying for job opportunity, that will not give them enough reason to get excited. But if you write in the headline, intriguing problem about your company that I can help you solve, that is likely to catch their attention, and they will want to know, how did he discover this problem or how did she discover this problem? Let's pay attention to what she has to say. So in today's context, grabbing the attention of the hiring manager is the first step. Okay. Second step is to highlight your work, whatever you have accomplished in your project work. Okay. The third step is to build an emotional connect with the person. Now, how do you build an emotional connect? This is not about a once upon a time kind of story. to build the emotional connect. This is about what you have done. Let's say during your summer of 2021 or 2022, you did a research project or you did an internship in which you solved a problem for that particular organization. You need to bring that element here in a story form. I encountered this problem in this project, I solved it, and this is the result that was brought about it. I believe, now, so here's where you bring the emotional connect. Emotional connect comes the moment you have established the problem and the challenge, okay, and how you solved it. Now they are curious. Next, you build relevance with the role that you're applying for. In the way I solved the problem in this project, I can help you address the problem that your company is facing today. Okay, so you have now brought relevance between the problem that you solved in your project or in your internship, and you're making that relevant to the current problem that the company is facing. Okay, once you build relevance, the last part is engage. Okay, meaning ask for a meeting. Because if you don't give this call to action, then the hiring manager or the admissions panel doesn't know what to do. So you want to tell them that, hey, can we meet for 10 minutes to discuss what I have highlighted in this cover letter? So then it gives them a clear-cut understanding, a call to action, where they decide to either offer you an interview or, for that matter, engage with you on a phone call. For how many of you this particular was a new insight? Please type NI in the chat box, Google Chat, the YouTube link, as well as WhatsApp. Awesome, awesome. This is great to know that there is some value addition that's coming out of this deck. Okay, I hope that you're not falling asleep, and it looks like because you're engaging with me, it looks great that it's adding a lot of value. Okay, awesome. So please take a screenshot. I'm going to leave this for just the next 10 seconds. If you can take a screenshot of this, if you found value in this acronym is what you got to remember. When you're writing persuasively, the objective is to share information and build a personal connect. In today's context of artificial intelligence, if you can build a personal connect, a human-to-human connect with someone, that is going to differentiate you in the market. Okay? All right. So if you all have taken a screenshot of this, let me move on to the next part of my deck. Essentially, by doing this exercise, what we have done is we have captured the attention, as I mentioned, and we have triggered the curiosity. Now, we'll do a small activity. Candidate A and candidate B have written two different cover letters to the same company. If you were the hiring manager, which is the candidate that you are likely to offer a chance to interview with you, and which will actually trigger your curiosity? So I'll leave this for a few seconds, and please type your answer in your chat box, both in Google as well as YouTube link. People who have joined through the YouTube link, please type it in the comment box on YouTube link. And those who are joining through WhatsApp can type their answers there. I'll give just about a minute for you all to read through this and type the answers. Okay, maybe let me take a minute and see. The responses have started coming in. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So the idea behind showing this to you was to essentially reinforce the fact that if you go to the company with the attitude of a job seeker, the chances of getting a response is as low as 2%. But if you're able to identify a problem and showcase to them how you can solve the problem, which people from scientific disciplines are really good at, then you're taking the sales approach. And the sales approach will add a lot of value and will cause that curiosity to attract the opportunity towards you. Okay, that's the emphasis that I want to place here. And also note one thing, your cover letter has to be concise. It should ideally not exceed 1 page. So in 1 page, you have to be able to highlight the problem, grab their attention, showcase your fitment to that, how you can solve the problem or at least approach the problem. And third, showcase a passion. Why is it that you want to join that company? These 3 elements are the key ingredients of a good cover letter. Okay. So after this, let's move on. Are you ready for secret number 2? Type yes in the chat box. Awesome. Okay, I can see a lot of engagement here. That's amazing. So secret number 2 is cold calling. Okay, just like cold invites that we discussed in the first secret, this is cold calling. Okay, this is taking it to the next level. What is cold calling? Cold calling is you pick up the phone and you call somebody you have never spoken to before and you try to engage them on the phone. For how many of you, this exercise is going to be a bit challenging? Please type me in the Google chat box, in the YouTube chat link, and in the WhatsApp chat link. Okay, I want to tell you that I am aware that this can be a bit challenging for people, but I want to assure you that if you follow what is being laid out in terms of the acronyms that I'm sharing and the techniques I'm sharing, over a period of time, you will become masters at this. Okay. If I can do this, I am a product of the engineering schools in India, and I have done this, and it is not difficult. I want to assure you that if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. And I'm going to show you how. So please make notes. This will be helpful. Okay. So before you cold call anybody, remember this, just chill. Okay. Just chill. And by that I mean, go grab a cup of coffee. Okay. Coffee, tea, cold drink, whatever you like. First of all, relax, because the idea about this whole cold calling thing is to calm your nerves. Okay. So whatever is the calming activity that you do, whether you decide to do meditation or whether you decide to listen to music or whether you like to, whatever YouTube video that you like to see to calm yourself down. It is not that difficult, number one. Second step is to remember, when you joined engineering school, whether it is Sardar Patel, AP Shah Institute of Technology, whichever college you're a part of, you joined engineering school in the first year, you met a group of new students, new faces. You did not know any of them. Did you? I don't think you all knew any of them. This was the first time you were meeting them. And if you're meeting them for the first time, how do you start an introduction? You introduce yourself by saying, hey, this is Shekhar Srinivasan. I have completed my 12th standard from so-and-so college. I am from Mumbai, from Chembur area. Where are you from? Right? It's a simple human-to-human connection. Okay? That's the same principle you follow in sales. It's as simple as that. You have to introduce yourself with authenticity. Who you are as a person at a deep level, you just introduce yourself in that level. What is it that you do? You're a mechanical engineer, you're a chemical engineer, whoever it is, you highlight that on the phone. But remember one thing here, okay? Introduce yourself energetically. Now, if I had conducted this webinar with a very low energy, hi, I am Shekhar Srinivasan. I am going to conduct this webinar today. I hope this adds value. Would you have liked to attend this webinar? I don't think so. So the same way, when you're doing a cold call, the only medium of building trust with the person at the other end is through your voice. Okay. The first part in persuasive writing, it is through your story, which is written, for which they have some more time, and the headline, which grabs their attention. Here, you can grab their attention through your voice, through your energy, through your authenticity. By authenticity, I mean your true personality has to come out in the phone. Okay. Do not hesitate to show your true personality, which is your normal self. If you're energetic, be energetic. Once you show that energy and once you give them reason, hey, I'm Shekhar Srinivasan, I discovered this problem through my research and I am really excited to share this with you because I believe I have a solution, or rather I have an approach to take from my prior experience, which will help you address this problem. Are you willing to have a 10-minute conversation with me over coffee? Okay, as simple as that. Now, it takes a little bit of practice, but it is achievable. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can practice this. Okay. Before that, through your energy, you build trust with the person at the other end. The third step is to investigate. So you've done some research from internet. You've done some research from Google. You've done some research from AI, all of that, correct? The next step is to validate this research by talking to this person whom you've called them using the phone. You need to validate that research. So you could tell them, hey, you know what? I was doing this research. I discovered this problem. Are you actually facing that problem? Because I believe I have a solution. So you're trying to engage with them at a very human to human level and validating that information. The next step is to listen. When you have shown them, you've transferred the energy. So when you transfer the energy, now that person is wanting to share some information with you. So they will either validate your argument saying that, yes, this is indeed a problem that I'm facing, or they might correct you by saying, no, this is not the problem. This is the challenge that we are facing in this function. Okay. You have to hear them out completely, because by listening, you're actually building trust with the person at the other end. Okay. Once you've heard them out fully, the last step is to talk business. And by that, I mean your objective to convert this phone call into a face-to-face meeting. Your objective to cold call is to not go for the final outcome, which is to get a job. No. Your objective here is to convert your phone call to a face-to-face meeting. You need to just build the next level of trust here. First level of trust through writing persuasive letters. Second level of trust, cold calling follow-up, and convert that into a face-to-face meeting. Okay. For how many of you this was a new insight? Please type new insight in the chat box. In all the chat boxes, Google, YouTube link, and WhatsApp group. Awesome. I can see a few thumbs up. Thank you so much. So it looks like it is adding a lot of value. What I'll request you is to take a screenshot of this, okay, and so that you are able to remember this acronym. Whenever thinking about cold call, okay, remember Amir Khan's movie 3 Idiots. What does he tell Raju Rastogi? He tells Raju Rastogi, यार तू घबराता बहुत है. अगर तू घबराएगा तो एग्जाम में पास कैसे होगा? So all you need to do is place your hand on the heart and say, all is well. Just chill. Okay, and go grab a cup of coffee or your favorite drink and chill first. Relax. Then everything else will fall in place. Okay. Now, at the end after discussing the third, okay, before discussing the third secret, I want to highlight one way to practice cold call is to form groups of students. You have access to a big group, okay, amongst yourself. You all could do role playing. One of you all could play the hiring manager's role. The other person could play the student's role, and you can bring this to build confidence in yourselves. And then you can switch the roles and try it again. And over a period of time, if you do this consistently, you will build a lot of confidence. Okay. I hope you have taken the screenshot of this. I'm now going to discuss the third and the last secret for today's webinar. Okay, before I go to that, I want to highlight, look at the body language of this lady on the screen. Okay, you have to, even when you're talking to somebody on the phone, if you have a smile on your face, it can actually be felt in your voice. Okay, remember this. So when you talk to somebody on the phone, try and practice this. When you smile and then talk to them, you see the difference it makes to the energy at the other end. you'll be transferring positive energy to them. Okay. So this is something that you got to keep in mind. If you want to influence somebody and build trust with them, one of the easiest ways of doing that is through positive energy exchange. And that you can do with your voice. Okay. So your success with cold call, 80% of that depends on your energy level and the tone with which you speak. Okay. Okay. Broadly, I want to summarize the cold call objectives. Your objective here is not to go for the final outcome, which is to get a job. Your objective here is to build that trust. Okay, remember that slide which I showed you? You're going from the attitude of a job seeker to that of a problem solver. Have you ever seen a problem solver be desperate about seeking a job? No. He is just thinking from the standpoint of the customer. He wants to solve the problem. Once you solve the problem, getting the job will become incidental. You will get the job anyway. Okay? So change the attitude, change the perspective, solve the problem, and the job will become yours. Solve the problem for the faculty members or the admissions committee, you will get admission. Okay? Convince them that you're a good fit, you will get scholarship. Think from the standpoint of a sales guy. Okay? So as I said, building the relationship is most important. And that is why interpersonal skills, as I had mentioned in the first part of the webinar, in ours, okay? So how you build a relationship with people through energy transfer is very important. And the third is pitching. And cold calling, what you're doing is nothing but pitching. You're pitching for your candidature. But you're doing that by solving the problem. Okay? You will now remember one thing. Cold call success rates are not going to be high in the beginning when you're starting off this exercise. So be prepared to get some rejections. But remember one thing. When somebody says no, no actually means next opportunity. Okay? So don't get disheartened if you get rejected by the person at the other end. Keep going. Keep trying. You will get, after 9 calls, the 10th call will be successful. Okay? Remember that. The more persistent you are, the more successful you will be with cold calling. Okay? And you will find the opportunity. I can guarantee you, because if I have done it, I am sure all of you can do it. That is my assurance to you. Let's move on to the last secret. Okay, before moving on to the last secret, let's do another exercise. From candidate A starts the cold call by saying, can I talk to someone important in your organization? Receptionist says, could you provide more details? And candidate B says, I'm a student from the university and I've been researching a topic, let's say mechatronics. One of the aspects I've discovered about your process is so and so. This might be of interest to you. Would you be open to having a meeting for 15 minutes? And by the way, whatever I've shared here on the screen, these are actually real cold call pitches done by candidates. Okay, this is from a real case study that I've picked up. So please let me know in the chat box in your view, if you were the hiring manager who received this call, who would you pick up? Awesome. Awesome. So I think all of y'all are getting the gist of what I'm trying to explain here. This is not that difficult as it appears. It is all about little bit of practice, little bit of initiative, little bit of trial and error, and you have got this under your belt. I can assure you, it's not difficult. Okay. All right. So with that, let's move on to the last secret, which is elevator pitching. What is an elevator pitch? Okay. Elevator pitch is a mini commercial about you. Think of yourself as a ketchup bottle or a jam bottle who is placed on a shelf, who is calling somebody who is trying to shop. Hey, come buy me, come buy me. Okay. But not desperately. Okay. Just understand, elevator pitching is within 30 seconds, you're trying to tell somebody who are you? What is it that you do? What is one significant achievement of yours which you're proud of? And what help do you need from them? These 4 things have to be covered in 30 seconds. So secret number 1 was persuasive writing, where you had relatively enough time to research and write a letter. Cold call gave you lesser time. Cold call typically has to last for about 2 to 5 minutes. And now you have the father of all these techniques, which is elevator pitching, but you have to create that impact within 30 seconds. the same impact that you created in the previous two secrets. So elevator pitching sounds very difficult on the surface, but again, if you practice, you can convert this into a real asset for yourselves. Okay, so think of it, and one way to practice this, I'm going to share that with you in the next slide, how to practice this. And remember, the end goal of an elevator pitch is to spark interest. The end goal of an elevator pitch is not to secure a job. It is to trigger interest. First impression, okay? When you interact with somebody, the first 7 to 8 seconds, people make a decision whether they want to work with you or not. Okay, I can tell you that. It is the time that you have to tie a shoelace, 7 seconds. So if you can make these 7 seconds count with the way you introduce yourself, you can create an impact and you can cause them to come back to you. And that's how you attract opportunities. Okay? So, this typically applies in a situation like a professional networking event. Okay? A lot of you, by virtue of being in third year, fourth year of engineering or second year of engineering, you will have access to participate in some networking events, professional networking events, some can be even social networking events. Okay? Now, on the surface, this elevator pitch will appear very difficult. Oh my God, I have to talk to somebody and in 30 seconds I have to introduce myself. But really, you don't have to think of it that way. Again, go back to the time that you joined engineering school. Okay? How did you introduce? When you introduce somebody to a new face, you just said in 30 seconds, you said, who are you? Where are you from? What is it that you do? And what help do you need from that person? That's it. Same thing you need to do here. With the only difference that you need to tell them, introduce yourself in 10 seconds. Possible? I think it is possible. And all of you can do it. I am sure about this. Tell them, what do you do? Simple. I'm a chemical engineer. I'm an electrical engineer. I'm a computer science engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, whoever it is. Whatever is your background. You're a pharmacy student, whoever it is. Okay, just say that. Second, tell them one key achievement. I'm sure all of you have at least one achievement to your credit minimum. Even how much ever scared you are, you definitely have one achievement with you which you're proud of, which you would love to share with someone. Think of this as an opportunity to share that and try to do it in a concise fashion. Okay, and I will show this example to you. Then last, this is one thing you don't want to forget. Ask them for what help you need and with what area. For example, if you're at a networking event and you want help, you want to ask help for them to introduce somebody within their company, then you need to ask that. You need to say, I am contacting you because I want to connect with the sustainability group at your company. I want to connect with the R&D group at your company. Can you please help me with that? I'll tell you one thing, when you are honest, when you're authentic, and when you talk with full energy, the person at the other end wants to help you. I can tell you that out of experience. Okay? And for an introduction, they will not refuse. They will be prepared. If it is within their capacity, they will help you out. So just bear these principles in mind and connect with them at a heart-to-heart, at a human-to-human level, and you will receive the help that you need. Okay? Ask for help. So here is a typical example of an elevator pitch. This is Alex, okay? He says the first part, which is tell them who you are. You're an electrical engineering major. You've had a chance to work on projects that bridge renewable energy with smart grids, okay? This is a very, very specific one, okay? My most rewarding accomplishment was designing a solar-powered charging station for electric vehicles on campus. Very specific again. Okay, go back to the time that I said you need to research the company, you need to spend time building the foundation. It is for this reason I'm saying, because if your elevator pitch is crisp and to the point and is very specific, you will manage to create an impact. And this whole game about sales is about creating that impact. Okay, you want to create an impact in 30 seconds, you want to become all the more specific. Okay, and last, a call to action. If you're as excited as me about sustainability and innovation, then let us connect. Let us connect on LinkedIn, let us connect on Facebook, let us connect on wherever, whatever social platform, but let us connect, let us exchange business card. So the call to action has to come without fail in an elevator pitch. Okay, clear? Remember one thing, customize the elevator pitch as per company and role. And that is exactly what this sample is doing for you. Okay, let's do another activity. This is the last activity of the day before which we will proceed to quiz. So please identify after reading both of these. I'm going to leave this for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds on the screen. Tell me which candidate's elevator pitch you are likely to give an opportunity to. And after 30 seconds, I'm just going to go back to the chat box to see the response. So by that time, if you have the response, go ahead and type it. Okay, let's see. Awesome, awesome. So it looks like everybody is clear with what an elevator pitch is. Everybody is clear with what a cold calling is. Everybody is clear with persuasive writing. Awesome. Great, great, great. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you so much for engaging with me. I think without this engagement, it would have been boring for me. So you guys really made my day. Okay. So what we'll do now is a time for a quiz. Okay. Are you guys ready for a quiz? Are you excited? Are you feeling sleepy? Awesome. I get a lot of thumbs up. Great, 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 great. So let's move on to the quiz. We'll follow the same approach as we did earlier. We'll go to kahoot.it. For people who are logging from a laptop, from a YouTube link, please go to kahoot.it. As I said here, kahoot.it. You will find a spot where you need to enter a game pin. Okay. And that pin would have been typed by our team in the chat box window. That pin is over here. Three 369-440. This is the pin that you want to enter. So I'll give it about a minute for people to join in. This is the last part of the webinar. Let's give it a few more minutes because I suspect at least we should cross 150. I think some people might be facing technical issues, I suppose. Are people who are joined through YouTube link, are you all facing technical issues? I hope not. Okay, let's wait for the century and all right. So let's start. Okay, let's see what the first. So this is the opportunity magnet quiz. Which is the primary prerequisite to persuasive writing, cold calling, elevator pitching? For all three, which is the number one prerequisite? First step towards anything. That's the reason I introduced RIP in the first part of the presentation. The more research you do, the more confident you are to introduce yourself, to showcase your achievements and so on and so forth. Okay, so research the company or university is the first step. Awesome. Wow. So Aditya Shinde is leading. We have Brunal closely following Aditya. Third, Sparkle. Okay, that's an interesting name. Sakshi, okay, and Khalid. Awesome. Khalid reminds me of the movie War. Tiger Shroff's character in War. Awesome, awesome. Great to see.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. What are the top 3 business skills of the 21st century? I think this should be an easy one. There are more than one answers here, huh? By the way. You can select more than one option. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Let's move on. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, so there's a lead here. There's somebody suddenly shifted places. Aditya and Brunal exchanged places. Wow, there are some new people who are showing up. Hina Patil, Piyush Shane, Aditya. There are 2 Adityas. Amazing. Amazing. Mega is the highest climber. Awesome. Awesome. Let's look at the third question. All right, come on. Let's see if somebody else shows up on this one. Researching about a company or a university can be considered as a part of a sales activity. True or false? Please think and answer. This is a tricky question. I'll be eager to see the response of this one. Awesome. Oh, well, I think this is actually an incorrect answer. Let me clarify. Researching is something that you do before. Okay, it is before the sales you have entered the transaction. If you recall, I had highlighted pre-sales and research was indicated as a pre-sales activity. So that's what I meant. As much as, yes, it is necessary for sales, but it's a pre-sales activity. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Looks like some people traded places here, but I can see some familiar names. The new name I see here is Raj. Raj has taken lead here. Piyush Shane is also a new name that I see here. Amazing. Manish is now the highest climber. Brilliant, brilliant. So I'm seeing a lot of movement. How long should a cold call last? Now, this information you need to use. Yeah, I think this is something that I've mentioned during the presentation. For the folks who were paying attention will get this answer right. So I'm eager to know who all were paying attention. Awesome, awesome. I'm very happy to see that most of the folks have got this right. Indeed, it's about 2 to 5 minutes. Let's see who's made transition. Okay, Mrunal has traded spots. Oh, there's a new name now. Isha, Aditya, Rishit. Rishit is a new name that I see on the screen. Amazing, amazing. 5 players have reached answer streak 3. That's amazing. That's encouraging to see. Awesome, awesome. So are you guys enjoying this game? I think all of you are, because I can see a lot of action here. Great. Let's look at the 5th question. We'll start going a little fast from here. What is the goal of an elevator pitch? Because we are nearing closure time now. To network with the person, to spark interest, to go into detail, to get the job. Awesome. So bulk of you all have got this right. It is to spark interest. Yes. Okay, I see Sakshi is back on the screen now. So there is a tough competition now between a lot of students whom I see. They're kind of trading spots, but they're very close to each other. Awesome. Next, under what context can the skill of persuasive writing be applied? Cover letters, scholarship essays, statement of purpose, all of the above. Brilliant, brilliant. Yes, indeed, you can apply persuasive writing to any context. Suhasini, oh, I see a new name here. Very nice. Ina Patil, Aditya, Sakshi. Aditya Jha is a new name that I see here. 17 players have reached answer streak 3. Amazing, amazing to see this. All right, 7th question. An elevator pitch should not be more than 30 seconds. True or false? All right, awesome, awesome. Great to see that most of you all have picked up the gist of what I was trying to convey. Awesome. Okay. Khalid is back. Okay, all right. Sakshi is back too. Great. What's the best way to start a cold call? Introduce yourself, ask about the opening, speak about your accomplishment, tell about your skills. Think your engineering days. Think your engineering, the first day in engineering college when you saw new faces. What was the first thing you did? Awesome, 82%. Awesome, very nice. Introduce yourself. Great. Let's see if somebody trades places. Yes, looks like Hina Patil is back on top. Aditya is now come second spot. Great, great. There's a lot. I think I'm seeing now familiar names coming up again and again. 15 players have reached answer streak 3. Great. What is an elevator pitch? There is a tricky option here. Please pay attention. Please note that there is a tricky option here also. I'd love to see the answer of this one. Awesome. All of you all have picked it up. Yes, it is the short summary. Yes, yes. Great, great. All right, let's see who's trading. Oh, Sakshi is on top now. Aditya closely trailing Suhasini, Mrunal, Raj. Raj is back in the game. Great. All right. How should one handle rejection on a cold call? We spoke about this. Awesome. Yes, take it professionally. I have some people who are saying hang up on the person. Really? You don't want to hang up on a person when you're going for a sale. No, you lose the opportunity. Sakshi is on top. Aditya, number 2. Suhasini, Mrunal, Raj. Again, the same names I see again. Awesome. Let's see if some new name also shows up in the next one. Amazing. These guys are going neck to neck. What are the steps to follow for persuasive writing? You need to rearrange this in the right order on your screen. So pay attention and rearrange it in the right order. Remember the acronym, the screenshot that you took. You need to go back to that. Wow, 86% got this wrong. Okay. Maybe I did not create the impact with this one. Okay. Well, 27% got it right. Okay, I would request you to go back to the screenshot and then reattempt this quiz again. Finally, Aditya is back on top. Raj is showing up on third. Yukta, I see a new name here. Yukta, amazing, amazing. Great. What is the primary goal of a cold call? Pay attention to the word primary. What is the primary goal of a cold call? Awesome. Awesome. Yes. So it's to schedule a meeting. Sakshi is back on top. Yukta is in third position. Nice. Raj is in second position. Suhasini, Aditya, great. Meenakshi is the highest climber. I see a new name again. Awesome. The subject line of the cover letter needs to be generic, crisp and concise with no relevance, crisp and concise with relevance to the role, long and detailed. Brilliant, brilliant. I'm really happy with this answer. A bulk of y'all have paid attention and y'all have made this session count. I'm very happy to know that. Let's see if any new names come up here. Sakshi is on a roll. Raj is on a roll. Yukta is climbing up. Suhasini is there. Aditya. Harsh Jadhav. Okay, he's the highest climber now. Another new name. You should sound friendly during a cold call. True or false? Awesome. 100 people got this right. Really good to know that you all have picked up the nuggets. Okay. The objective is to actually sound nice to people and be nice to people and be your authentic self. That's when you build a human to human connection. Sakshi, Raj, Yukta, Suhasini. Khalid is back. Nikita Shinde is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Awesome. New name again. All right, we have 6 more questions to go. How should an elevator pitch be customized for different situations? Awesome. So most of you all have got this right. Great, great. Let's see who makes for the top spot. Sakshi still is on a roll. Raj is quickly catching up. Yukta continues to remain at 3rd spot. Suhasini and Khalid. 25 players have reached answer stick 3. Okay. Let's see if a new name pops up in the next one. 16. How many times should you try to call someone before answering them not interested? Okay, this is more of an intuitive answer. So you may have to, if you all have paid attention to the slides, you will know this answer. Okay, twice. Okay. So typically I would give it a 3 attempts. Okay. At least 3 attempts I would go because cold call, you don't get success in first 2 attempts. You need to go at least until 3 attempts to make sure you get through. And you need to attempt that enough number of times to make sure that you are able to firmly establish that they're not interested. Yes, this is something that we did not address during the presentation. So I'm establishing the foundation here. Okay. So give it at least 3 attempts. Isha is back. And Janvi is back with an answer of 3. So we got 1 new name again. Great. Last 4 questions. What's the ideal length for a cover letter? This was covered during the presentation. Over 2 pages, half a page, as short as possible, exactly 1 page. Awesome. Most of you all got this one. Yes. Typically, you don't want to exceed beyond a cover one page. It's typically how much you want to keep it. Okay. All right, Datta. Okay, we see a new name. Datta is the highest climber. Nice. Okay, last 3 questions. How should your energy and enthusiasm come across during an elevator pitch? Great, great. Yes, it's about showing genuine enthusiasm and passion. The idea is to build trust with someone. You have to be genuine from your heart. You have to be authentic. And that's when you will be able to connect. Okay, great. Wow, Isha is on top now. Raj, Sakshi, Suhasini, Yukta, great. Jatin Rathod is now making a comeback with 3 in a row. Awesome. Another new name. Great. Let's see in the last 2 questions who takes the lead. What percentage of communication during a cold call is conveyed through your tone? This was discussed and shown on the slide. So for the folks who paid attention, they will get this answer right. Awesome, awesome, great. Let's see who comes on top now. Isha retains her spot. Raj, Sakshi, Suhasini, Yukta, all of them retain their spot. But Aditya Jha, okay, he's back in the game. 3 in a row, awesome. Last question, let's see who's the winner. Which document allows you to explain your motivation for applying and why you're a good fit for the position? Great. So most of you all have got this right. I want to take a moment to say really thank you. And I want to see who is the winner. Let's see. I think Yukta is at number 3. Amazing. Sakshi is at number 2. Congratulations. Isha is at number 1 spot. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to all of you. Rishit and Suhasini are runners up. Congratulations to all of you. I'm really happy to see the enthusiasm shown by all these students and all the participants in this quiz. I think without your engagement, this webinar would have been really boring. So I am really wanting to thank you for your participation and paying attention throughout the webinar, taking efforts to type out your answers. I think hats off to all of you. This is one of the best experiences that I've had when conducting a webinar. I mean, I couldn't have been given a better opportunity. So I'm really obliged and I feel amazing. So, I just want to ask the team if we have time. Thank you so much for your thumbs up. Thank you really for all your thumbs up. Do we have time for question and answer? I would definitely like to answer at least some questions if Dr. Rane and if the team can let me know how much time do we have on the clock, because I know I have exceeded the time a little bit. If you can let me know if we can answer the problems or address the questions.
Yes, sir. We do have some time left to answer a few questions. So you could definitely do that.
Awesome. So would you help me please pick out some questions and then maybe I address that, or we could even spotlight people if they want to ask the question on the screen, that's also fine. What do you recommend?
So there are a lot of good questions coming up in the chat, so you could pick out any one you like.
Okay. Okay, let me pick up this one. Sir, any tips that you can give to us how we can talk to people with confidence, how we can interact with people in the first meet? Okay, so this is a very good question. Okay, and this, believe me, when I was in engineering college, I had the same concerns. I was an introvert and I struggled to speak with people. Okay, but like any other, when you play badminton, in the first few days, you will find it very difficult to whack the racket, hit the shuttle. When you practice it enough number of times, it gives you the confidence, correct? So any skill that you need to build requires a little bit of effort. But if you guys do the role play activity that I told you, if you take a role play activity, then it will significantly help you. By role play, I mean, y'all could form small groups of 3 to 4 people. One of them could play the role of a hiring manager. One of them could play the role of a student. And then y'all could do the activity. You could research about a company. You're the hiring manager of the company. The student is the interviewer or for that matter, the candidate. And then you could attempt this exercise. You could write out a script and you could practice it in groups, in small groups. First, do it in small groups. Okay. And then once you do that, then you can take it to the next level where you have formed a list of 10 to 15 companies. So those 10 to 15 companies are your dream companies. Now you don't want to try your pitch directly with them. You want to do first an alpha level testing with some companies which are not in your sector, which are not your dream companies. So you pick the phone, you send a cold call invite, and then talk to them on the phone whom you're prepared to take risk with. Build confidence first with that level. And once you build that confidence, then you move on to your dream companies and call them. You will get that feeling from within. Okay, I can assure you, you will get that feeling from within. So just practice it and don't get disheartened if you get rejected. Believe me, everybody who has made it big today has gotten rejected large number of times. I have gotten rejected zillions of times. Okay, so, and I am not even big today, but I'm just telling you that you have to undergo some amount of rejection to eventually eventually build that confidence. Okay, so I think there is an important aspect that I noticed here. I think there should be a proper method to understand company's problem. So I understand what you're saying. So let me take that question. What is the other method to find problems about the company? Okay. First step is to see if the company is a listed company. Okay. Listed as in, is it listed on the stock exchange? So then you have access to their annual reports. And in the annual reports, you can see their financial statements. Now, why did I not go into so much of detail in the webinar was because the webinar length is only 1 hour. I can only cover so much of information to be able to give the students a starting point for taking up this activity. I cannot address the entire aspect of research. But because this question has come up, I am addressing it. First step is to go to see if the company is listed and check their annual reports. In the annual reports, you will have a lot of information about how their financials are. Are they debt ridden? Are there operational issues? Are there strategic issues? Are there manpower issues? Using this, in some cases, you might even find issues related to engineering related aspects. Okay. So I could not have addressed the whole research element in the context of 1 hour, which is why I had to do it from a standpoint of giving students a starting point to get started on this exercise. Once you get started on the exercise, the momentum will build, and through that momentum, you will cultivate a lot of confidence to research, to do cold calling, to do elevator pitching. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, let me take the question of Raj Chauhan here. The question I want to ask you is that what thinking or mindset should a youth or a student of first year should keep who wants to start his or her own business in their specific sector? Well, it's great. I mean, see, the mindset is very simple. Okay. If you're starting some business in your particular sector, again, you need to start with research as the first foundation. You need to first find out if there is a market for the space that you want to enter into, whether there is a customer base that you can go after. Okay. Then you need to talk to those customers, do a survey to understand if they are willing to buy your product, or if this is the supposed product. You have not created a product yet. You're just in ideation phase. So that idea you need to share in the form of concept to that market and see if that concept is received by the market of your interest. For example, take this webinar, for instance. Okay. I am trying to see if this way of engaging students has some merit. Now, I could have done this through a standard PowerPoint way, but I think I would have not been able to capture the attention of people. My objective was to ensure that you're able to take value out of this. And my intention was to ensure that you get value. So I am testing whether this form of conducting presentation is working or not. So all you need to do is you need to adopt that idea that you're testing an idea. The idea has a probability to pass or fail. And if the idea passes, well and good. Now you have a business idea to go after. And if it doesn't pass and it fails, no problem. You can try a new market, or you try and change a new idea, or you change the product or the service that you're going to. So the mindset has to be very simple, that you have to accept certain amount of rejection that will come in your way when you're starting your business as an entrepreneur. Okay, it will not be a straightforward walk, but if you're persistent, if you keep doing it again and again, and if you do it with honesty, there is no reason why you will fail. Eventually, you will get success. Okay, so that will come to you if you're attempting it with the right intention in mind. Okay. Any other questions in particular? I think I've answered the rejection part of it. I have addressed the research part of it. If there is still questions about research, I will request you to get in touch. Can you please elaborate about taking rejection one more time? Okay, one last time I will say. Rejection is if somebody says no to you, okay? No means they are redirecting you towards a next opportunity. Remember that. No means next opportunity, okay? So if somebody is saying no, don't be disheartened. Go further, ask them why you are saying no. Find out why they are saying no, because that will give you useful information of how not to design a product. For example, I will ask you, I am taking a feedback from, I will share, the team, KF, who have done a wonderful job in organizing this. I will request them to share the Google form with you. In that Google form, please give me your honest feedback, whatever you felt, whether something can be improved. Because it is important to take feedback from the audience whom you're designing this product for. And if they say that the product is not likely to work, listen to them. Change something in that. And then again relaunch the product in the market and see if that works. And essentially that no can be eventually converted into a yes, because it cannot constantly be no, because you're working on the feedback that is shared by the market with you, correct? So keep working on the feedback that you receive from the market, improvise the product or the service, and eventually you will find the sweet spot in which your product will sell, it will succeed. That I can assure you. And the same applies for selling yourself as a candidate. You will get rejection in first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, 10th attempt. But in the 11th attempt, if you work on the feedback, ask the person at the other end, why are you rejecting me? Can you please give me one reason? I will not bother you beyond that. Give me just reason why you're rejecting me. And take that reason, make a note of that reason. He will tell you why he's rejecting you. Then work on that reason, improvise yourself, and reattempt again with renewed energy. So take rejection as a means to improve yourself. And then there is nothing which will stop you. I can tell you that with assurance.
Thank you, Mr. Shekhar. Now this is a time when we will be requesting the participants to share their feedback in the verbal form. So may I invite one or two participants to share their feedback verbally? Yeah.
Can I request them to please turn on the camera, sir, if that's okay? When they are speaking, it will be very helpful.
Dr. Ashok Patel, Dr. Sudhir Oja, Dr. Shivangi. Would you like to share your feedback? Dr. Simarjeet.
It's an informative session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. There's somebody.
This is Dr. Simarji. Yes, sir. Highly motivating session, right? I would say. Very insightful information you have shared with us. I'm in the profession for the last 20 years. I joined this just to gain, new insights, and I got it. Definitely, I got it. Thank you so very much. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your kind comments. Anybody else? Okay. Can I make one request to all the participants? If I just was wondering if you all could come on camera, and if I could just take a screenshot for my own, with a thumbs up on how you felt the session was. Whoever felt the session added value, if you all could give thumbs up and show up on the screen, even if you can turn on the cameras, that will be amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much.
तुम फीडबैक लिंक अभी क्यों दिया है?
Thank you. All right. And for those of you whom I could not answer the questions, I will request you all to please fill out the feedback form as well as the questions in them which I've asked. We will try our level best to respond to each and every question and come back to the respective people. So that is a commitment that I am taking upon myself. So please do take it. I may not be able to do it immediately, but I will eventually come back to you. And just one last thing before I just wanted to share, in case if people want to connect with me, I'm available on all the social media handles, most of them. I'm most active on LinkedIn, and apart from that, I'm available on all the social media handles. So please do feel free to connect with me, to give your feedback live one-on-one, any suggestions to improve. Please do share that, because I'm looking to add value to students here and see how this sales technique can be brought and made an integral part of the curriculum. That's my large scale mission. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Rane and Kaif.
Shall we switch on the camera? May I request all the participants to switch on the camera so that we can take the photograph? May I request all the participants to switch on the camera? Thank you. Organizing team.
Please, a thumbs up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shekhar.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure having this session with all of you, and thank you so much for your encouraging participation in the game. And I really enjoyed this opportunity, and I want to thank Dr. Rane and other respected members of the Sardar Patel College of Engineering and KEF and team. I think they are magicians, the way they have led this whole webinar. It's one of a kind. I will always remember this. Thank you.
Thank you. We are also thankful to you for sparing your precious time and delivering a wonderful seminar. I'm also thankful to all the participants for making this entire activity as a grand successful event. I request the organizing team to give the vote of thanks. Yeah. Mr. Kaif.
Yes, sir. So today we gather here with our hearts filled with gratitude and appreciation for this wonderful occasion that we have recently experienced. I, Kaif Badshah, the chairman of III SPC Student Chapter, it is an honor for me to stand before you and extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of this organizing committee. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our speaker, Mr. Shekhar Srinivasan, for gracing us with their insightful words and valuable perspectives. Your presence has added immense value to this event, and your words will undoubtedly resonate with us for a long time. I would like to extend my appreciation to each and every participant who has taken part in this event today. Your enthusiasm and dedication, especially in the quizzes, contributed to making this event a grand success. Your valuable contributions and knowledge and discussions have collectively enriched this event. Finally, last and not the least, my organizing team. All the organizing committees, be it graphic design, documentation, operations, event management, all of you guys, thank you so much for making this event possible. That's all on my end. Thank you so much, everyone, for making this event a grand success.
Thanks
Can I
to
make-
all of you once again. We finally close this activity for today. Bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.